We're just not going to get into any of that because it gets too messy. And before you know it, you're endorsing presidential candidates that don't win. You're chasing down Zika virus. You're doing all kinds of things that make no difference in the lives of everyday nurses. So.
That I have to say is offline and because social media and stuff, but I came and I cry a lot, but I saw Jaleel when he was trying to make contact with a major organization, which I was a member of and the chief nurse rep for years. So I saw the pain in his eyes and trying to make this a successful national partnering with others. And because of my inside work with one of the largest unions that support nursing, I contacted this family. This is a family. I mean to tell you. I was a member of CNA. I was the founding member to make CNA. I was one of the rank and file members of CNA. I voted, I was a delegate to make it go NNU, National Nurses United. I'm just going to tell it like the TI is. And so I'm just going to tell it. And so I have never been embraced in my past work like I have in these short months with this group right here. This is the real deal right here. You guys can go there and tell it. This is the real deal right here. I have been a nurse for 7 years, worked with CNA, NNU, and I have never sat my black butt on a paddle. They have never asked me to come up here and sit. This group right here has embraced my nonprofit, embraced my children, embraced my babies that would not have had a toy drive if it wasn't for nurses' children. These people have sent pajamas. You guys have. You guys have had my back. And so right now I want to say this. I am giving out a scholarship today, $1,000 scholarship to a nurse's kid who has unfortunately passed away, lost her mom and dad who served the profession. I am prepared to write the check if they meet the criteria, and I talked to Jaleel in support because this is what it's about. Taking care of our own, supporting each other. And I'm sorry, but I had to go there. And if y'all want to take me to coffee because I don't drink, I'll really go there.
Anybody that's sitting up here? Okay.
Hi, I have a question. I'm a nurse in New Jersey, and regarding having too many patients, who do we write a letter or contact within the hospital, whether it's risk management, department manager, CEO, or state legislator? Who are we supposed to contact to, because there's always a fear of getting fired, repercussions, you know?
So, first question, do you have a union?
Not in our hospital.
Pardon me?
No.
No. Okay. So, there's several ways. You know, if you're on the unit, you will probably be reprimanded and be insubordination if you refuse an assignment. Sometimes hospitals have processes or pathways to not refuse, but to say that this is unsafe, under duress, right? Or
Unsafe staffing form. I asked about that in my hospital, and they said, "What? That doesn't exist here."
no. So, you know, there's other things that you can do. You could probably, do you have a staffing committee in your hospital?
Not Medicare.
Okay. Some of the states across the country have mandated laws where they have to have staffing committees that are, half of them have to be bedside nurses and half of them have to be management. And a regular basis to determine what units have unsafe staffing, so you don't have that either.
No, it's like small community hospital.
Okay,
Shelley,
so,
some key points is Shelley went against, she did not have a union organizer. Can Shelley stick to that point of non-union organization? Yeah.
Well, your options can be very limited because, like you said, you're going to be reprimanded. If you don't have any union to represent you, and if there's no laws in your state, there's not a lot you can do without the risk of employer retribution.
We actually all want to talk about this.
Yeah, and you mentioned the staffing committees. Well, Ohio has the law for the staffing committees, and it's completely useless. So, the staffing committee in the hospital I work at, they meet every May, and the people that are on the committee are hand chosen by management. So they pick people that are not me, or somebody that's going to speak out in favor of better staffing grids. They meet once a year, and there's no mandate for them to actually take nursing recommendations into consideration when they create their grids. So that's why Ohio is working on a better bill.
Can you pass that down to Jane then? We'll have her say.
Do we really want me to say what I think? So, I know I have been called names by several large nursing organizations for this very suggestion, but if you're not afraid and you want to do something about it publicly, you just let me know. Because I've called some pretty large people out on social media, including your governor, by the way, who I do not like very much. But if you want to raise awareness in your community that your hospital, one, has absolutely no plan for staffing events appropriately, except for you making you run around unsafe, risking your license, I would be very happy to help you with that.
And what was your name again? I'm sorry. Jane?
Your name.
I'm Janie Gardner.
Can we take another question?
So, yeah, let me just speak to that really quickly. So, this is the essence of grassroots work, is that we believe that it really takes pressure from the top and legislation and policy to address these issues. But we also need for all of the nurses around the country to be empowered enough to say something, right? So sometimes I talk about the complacent complainers. Some people have heard me say that. So we sit in our units, in our hospitals, we sit in our in our break rooms whenever we get a chance to go there, and we complain of our situation to each other. And nothing comes out of that, right? So we need to break out of that. We need to be more vocal. We need to take these conversations and spread them around, all around the country. We need to talk to people that are not nurses. We need to get the public involved. So, just like this civil rights movement or women's suffrage or all the other social changes that happen in this country, it's not until everyone sees that it's a problem that you actually have the policymakers decide they need to do something about it. One of the beautiful and wonderful things about our profession is that most of us don't think alike, okay? And most of us don't vote the same either. And that's okay. I think it's a wonderful thing to talk to people who think differently. A good example of how this can work is our co-chair and chair of the rally this year. So that's Doris Carroll and Kathy Stokes, both of whom have very different political ideas, right? They took their political ideas and they put them where they should be, somewhere else. And then they worked together to put together this rally because they both believe that we need to have safe environments for our nurses and for our patients, right? So if we could get nurses from all across the country to think that way, then we become a voting bloc. Then, if you want to run for mayor, if you want to run for governor, if you want to run for president of the United States, you have to talk to the nurses. So that is what this grassroots work is about. is spreading that idea. And it all starts with ideas, right? So at some point, we have to shift away from being entrenched in ideas that don't work and move towards ideas that are different. And if they don't work, we try a new one. But we need to move out of these old ideas.
I agree. Another question here.
It's actually a comment, if I could. My name is Susan Pratt. I'm chairman and president of a large hospital in Toledo, Ohio. Our union is the UAW. We weren't always organized. We organized in 2000. So I'd like to talk to the sister from, I believe, New Jersey. And we didn't always have what we refer to as House Bill 346, which I believe Shelley spoke to. Back before we organized, we had no safe staffing way of reporting these types of concerns. And so what we did is we documented it, okay? So we put it in an email, and we sent it to our manager, and we worked our way up through the chain. Because that is your only protection, okay? If you have a right underneath your license to say that something's unsafe, once you accept the assignment, you're saying you have those skills to take care of that patient, okay? And if that's where the transfer, you're accepting that assignment, so now you're accepting that responsibility. But if you're at your max, maybe somebody's acuity is too high, you have a duty to say, I can't accept this assignment right now. I'm not refusing it, but I don't have the tools to take the assignment on. And if that person doesn't listen to you, maybe it's a night shift and it's a supervisor, and they don't want to hear this, they want you to take it. You need to go through the chain of command. They're all nurses, they're all registered nurses. They all have a duty to make sure that patient safety is the #1 priority. And that is your protection. You always bring it back to patient safety. Not that it's a number and that we're going by the grid. You have to reflect it back that it's actually doing harm to the patient. They then have the responsibility under their own licensure to come in, get dressed if need be, come in and assess the situation. So I hope that helps you, sister.
Hi, my name is Kate, and I work for Duke University Health System in Durham, North Carolina. Got up at 3:30 this morning and drove up here by myself. So we're talking about a lot of things, and I think Pam said it very well. You don't learn about this stuff. I took a policy class to find out about this. I went to Nurses Advocacy Day at my state 2 weeks ago and found out about this. Now, do you think I was able to wrangle anybody to come with me? No. I posted on Facebook, I sent out emails at work. Nobody, because people don't know. So I think one of the first steps is education, which is anything in nursing. If you don't know, you're not properly educated on materials, new practices, new policies, you can't practice. So I think the first step is including policy class into your bachelor's programs. If we're going for 2020, 8% bachelor's, you have to educate on the front end. You can't just find out about this randomly because you decide to take your career ahead. You know, we need bedside nurses just as much as we need advanced practice nurses. And not everybody can go get a graduate degree because who's going to take care of the patient, right? So if you never find out about this stuff, how can you know what you don't know? So I think that's a big issue is we need to really bring that to the attention of the programs and get some continuity and consistency with our programs throughout the country, which is one of the big things that the doctors say about the nurse practitioners, that we can't practice to our full scope because there's not continuity with the programs, which is true, and they need to work on that. You know, but like in North Carolina, we have a bill on the table, HB 88, that will allow us to finally practice to our full scope. And so that's all they talked about, that and a couple other things. We actually have 3 nurses as representatives who were nurses on our General Assembly, but they didn't talk about HR 1602. They didn't mention it. So you want to know why? Because it was NCNA who was supporting it for the ANA, who doesn't support, right? nurse-patient ratios. So, yet again, I didn't learn about that, but because I'm in this policy class and I wrote a letter to my legislator about HR 1602 and then wrote a 10-page paper about the policy issues, so I know exactly ACAN and all these statistics that we're talking about. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just wrote a paper about that. You know, so getting informed and really, like I said, the education on the front end, you know, we really need that. And so that should be a focus too, because you don't know what you don't know. That's true. Yeah.
Okay, someone has right on that.
If I could speak to that really quickly, so I work as faculty for several different institutions and have taught at, you know, from the ADN level, BSN, MSN, even doctoral. And I think you're absolutely right. I think that very often we teach about the art and science of nursing in an ideal kind of way. So we sort of say, you know, here are some skills, here's some knowledge, and then you're going to go out and save lives. We don't actually talk about the realities of what it's like to work in an industry that is a multi-trillion-dollar industry that's literally smashing us under the thumb. So that is a reality, and that's probably kind of scary if you're a student to hear that. But without without young people, young students getting involved, I mean, almost all social movements are done by that, and wars are you know, led by young people. They need to go on the front line. So I think we have to get back and talk to students, and we have to pull our faculty people, including myself, out of the ivory towers and back down to the bedside to talk about the issues that actually matter to nurses.
I'm a travel nurse. I was on assignment in Illinois. I was on a med-surg neuro floor. When I came into work, I had 8 patients, no tech, no desk secretary, total care, with a traumatic brain injury patient who was sitting at the nurse's station answering the phone calls for the floor appropriately and taking the meds out of the tube system and putting them in the appropriate bins. The charge nurse knew. She made the appropriate documentation. House supervisor knew. It went up the chain of command. Nothing was done. I talked to the acting nurse manager, the oncoming nurse manager. I went to my travel company and told them about the situation. 2 weeks later, my contract was canceled, which was fine because I know I did the right thing. And now it's time for us to speak up and do the right thing and protect.
That has had mandated acuity-based staffing plans since 2008. In fact, the Illinois Nurses Association and Pam Robbins, I'm sure, and Eve Soto, they were instrumental in getting this legislation passed. Hey, back then there was nothing. So we thought, hey, this is going to work. But no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in our state at all, as Teresa had just attested to. Plus, I've talked to other nurses, and one of them is going to be speaker at the rally tomorrow, Debbie Hickman, who can attest to the same thing that Teresa has, that acuity-based staffing plans are not working in states that they are mandated for several years now. So we have to come up with a different plan, and that is nurse-to-patient ratios, and hopefully we have a future and talk about other things that we can combine it.
Maybe adjust for
And that's what the legislation was about last session, was that it was nurse-to-patient ratios, however, adjusting for acuity. And people forget that. They just think it's a ratio law. It isn't. It does adjust for acuity. And for any day now, I'm hoping to check my email like today, that Schakowsky staffers will tell me they're going to introduce it today. That's what they told me, so I'm trying not to hold my breath.
This is our last question.
Actually, Leslie, can you kind of talk about what it was like in California? Because I think you went through that whole process. You were there before the ratios.
That's my speech tomorrow.
All right.
That's my speech.
Can you give us a sneak peek?
Yes, I'm going to talk about that in my speech.
She said she's got to talk about it tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. Tomorrow, that's my speech, so come hear me in the rain. It's going to be fun. those ratios going and fighting for that, as I said, well, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. Trust me, we didn't believe it was going to happen. Who would have thought that these greedy employers would ever, go along with an idea that came out from the union? And like they said, we are the it's not the building. Back then it was 2000 Franklin. It is us, the nurses. So we make up the organization. It's not those people that sit behind those desks and come up with those ideas. It's us. If it's not us out there doing the work, it wouldn't happen. If it's not us out there sacrificing, it wouldn't happen. So back then, we never thought it would happen. And like I said, I'm doing my speech, but it was some tough times. I mean, I was before ratios when we had 9 and 10 patients, and admit the 10th patient on a geriatric med surg unit. And I had babies, and like I said, I'll say lactating mom, and you don't get breaks. And you go home, and your breasts are engorged and full of milk, and you almost choke your baby because you didn't get time to pump, right? And that probably happens to yeah, and so that was, so they got paid good, Life before ratios, hopefully now in California, and I'm hoping that nurses across the nation will be able to go home and nurse their babies and won't choke them from not being able to pump.
Hi, I'm Gail Whiterill. I'm a nurse who was shown the door after speaking out, and luckily I'm semi-retired at this point, so with the gray hair comes the ability to run my mouth without fear. But the one thing I wanted to say is, sitting here listening to everyone this morning, or afternoon, wherever we are, I'm struck by the need to educate people at the bedside. What do I do? Where do I start? And I would like to challenge our organization, and I figure if I volunteer in front of this many people, it'll be hard to go back on, because I would love to help. But I think we need an educational, advocacy for dummies. Where do I start? Who do I write to? Where do I find those addresses?